Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Samuel and I'm a private tutor based in London, and you're probably watching this because you're very close to A-level and GCSE results day. And like most young people in the country, you're probably feeling a bit nervous about the results and the implication of these results. So I'm going to take you through some useful tips that you can use that should hopefully help the day run a bit more smoothly. The first piece of advice I'm going to give might sound a bit obvious, but it's incredibly important, and that is don't panic. You have to understand the backdrop in which you've taken your exams, and that's in the midst of a global pandemic, the most significant event that's happened since World War II. It's completely changed the face of the earth and has impacted every sphere of society, including your education. So the fact you're even here to be able to take exams is a blessing in itself. One thing to note, class of 2020, is the fact that you haven't been able to sit your exams yet means you haven't been given the opportunity to show exactly what you're capable of within an academic framework. So in other words, you can't have failed because you haven't actually sat your exams yet. So if you do get what you want on results day, congratulations, fantastic. But if it doesn't go to plan, do not lose heart. You're going to need to understand all of the options available to you so you can make a really informed decision about the direction your career and your life is going to take going forward. Now, the next piece of advice I'm going to give you is to prepare beforehand. It's going to be crucial that you have a really clear idea in your mind, and maybe even written down on paper, what your best case scenario is. So the course of your choice, the university of your choice, the sixth form college of your choice. All of these things are your best case scenario. But if this doesn't happen due to grades, what options are available that you would be happy to accept? And it's very important that you have this in mind. So how does clearing work? How does adjustment work? What about accreditation? Is the Russell Group important for you? So draw up all of these different factors that if you don't get what you were expecting, or even if you get better than what you were expecting, this would be a really good outcome for you going forward if this happened. Now, this may mean you getting in contact with institutions such as universities or schools. Now, schools may not be open before results day, but universities, a lot of them certainly are. So give them a call and ask, in the event of this, what would happen? In the event of that, what would happen? So you have a clear picture about what your options are. On results day, these lines are going to be very busy, so it may not be as easy for you to get through and to speak to somebody if you don't do it beforehand. Make sure not to plan any holidays around results day. You're going to need to be around to speak to institutions. And also make sure that all of your contact details are up to date in case universities or other institutions need to contact you. Now, the next tip will be to get up early. Now, it's really important that you don't use results day as an opportunity to have a lie-in and get up after midday. You're going to need to get up early and be making decisions, possibly be making phone calls, and it's very important that you have as much of the day to your disposal as possible. Now, I do believe that your school are not allowed to tell you your results before 8 a.m, but from about 7:30 onwards, you can be logging into UCAS, track and see if it's updated, so you'll know whether you've gained your firm or your insurance, or if something else has happened as well. So it's really important that you have an early start on results day. Please remember that your first priority on results day. It's really important that you sort out yourself, what your plans are, what you're doing before you try to help others. Also as well, don't feel pressured to go out. So if friends have done well and they're going somewhere, don't feel pressured to go out if you're still uncertain about what the future holds for you. Sort out yourself and then go on and socialize in your own time. But it's really important that you remember that you're the first priority on results day. Another tip that you're going to find very useful is to gain as much information before you make a decision. So speak to as many relevant people as possible. So have conversations with people at your school, at your sixth form, at your college, at your university that you're looking to apply to, at the department heads within your universities. Speak to people in your apprenticeship. If possible, even speak to people within the industry, and don't forget to speak to your family as well. Gain as many perspectives as possible and then settle on a decision that you're happy with going forward. I think it also pays to understand how the pandemic will affect the next academic year. Many universities have already said that they're going to only be using online learning for the time being. Does that suit you? Is that something you're happy with? How do you cope with online learning? Are there alternatives? If you are going to be paying nearly £30,000 for a degree, it really makes sense that you're happy with these sorts of things going forward. The last piece of advice I'm going to give is about working space. Now, if you're able to stay at school and work from school and get advice from teachers, fantastic. But if you are going to be working at home, make sure you designate an area or maybe a room in your house, if it's possible, as your kind of results day command center. So have everything you need in one room. So that could be your exam documents, your UCAS details, your university communications, everything you need in one place. Now, this also applies if you're applying for sixth form or college. You may also need to be available if you need to go in for a meeting or a last-minute interview. You may be on the phone for large portions of the day, so make sure that your phone is fully charged, as well as your laptop. You can also involve other members of your family. For example, if you're speaking to a university and you're on hold with another university, that family member can inform you when somebody becomes available on this line, because they will need to speak to you directly when they're making decisions and offering you places. Have a notepad to hand to record all the information that's been given to you. Ask the person that you're speaking to send you email confirmation. And if you're dealing with universities, they can communicate with you via the UCAS platform. Please do note that if you're not happy with your grade or anything else that's happened in exam season, there are some instances in which you can appeal. Now, I have made a video on this in which I will link in the description so you can understand what you can appeal and what you can't appeal. Thank you so much for watching the video. As I said before, it's really important that you understand the backdrop in which you're collecting your results this year. Don't be too hard on yourself. Try not to be anxious. Gain as much information as possible and understand that one day does not define your whole life. So if you found this useful, please consider sharing it. Connect with me on socials. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.